A prominent consumer advocate is pointing out another possible problem with APS.
The problem relates to a discrepancy between what APS was communicating on its website and what was reality on customers' bills. Joe Dana explains.
Look, this is not a good time for the electricity giant after last week's Corporation Commission hearing, where commissioners and some customer advocates took the new CEO to task and demanded greater accountability. Today, customer advocate Abhay Padgaonkar discovered yet another flaw on APS's website that could have caused confusion for customers. This one relates to how a certain fee is calculated. The regulatory assessment fee assessed to customers since August did not match the fees formula on APS's own website. APS says this error did not cost customers any money and that, quote, there was an internal audit confirming that the new rate was implemented correctly on customers' bills. However, the rate was not updated on the website at the time due to the launch of the new APS.com website. It was an oversight that has now been corrected. Padgaonkar says while this did not change customers' bills, it's another sign that the company's operations are not buttoned up.
What it shows is lack of attention to detail, lack of proper oversight, and lack of customer focus. And that is troublesome for a monopoly that is given a certain number of customers in a service area.
The commission tells 12 News they're discussing this with APS today. APS also says if you have any questions about this, you can contact them directly. Back to you guys.
All right, Joe, thanks.